If you're watching this video, I imagine you might have just gone through a layoff and are dealing with possible or imminent unemployment. Or maybe it happened to someone close to you. So if you have ever been through this experience, you are familiar, I'm sure, with the different feelings that arise when your job pushes you out, when they lay you off and they say, we no longer need you, sorry, and good luck on your future endeavors. The words no one wants to hear. I have been through this before myself, and I can speak from experience, and I've been through it, I think, about a total of 3 times. And sometimes, you see it coming. Other times, you don't. It comes way out of left field, and it just hits you like a ton of bricks. From my own experience, I know the feelings that have come up. And if I look back, I remember when I first heard the news, I opened up an email around noon, and the first thing I did was burst into tears. And then after that, I pulled myself together and kind of pulled up this sort of steely, calm confidence. It'll be okay. I can do this. I'll figure something out. And then that was shortly replaced by anger and then rage. And then my self-esteem took a dive. And worry and anxiety started to set in. So it's very normal for all those feelings to come up and for you to cycle through them multiple times. It's very much, I think, like going through the stages of grieving. Suddenly this information comes in and now you have to figure out what to do. What's your next step? Maybe you have concerns about how will you support yourself or how will you support your family? What will your spouse think? Maybe you fear that he or she will leave you. And I know from my own experience, remove their ability to take care of themselves. And it makes feeling good about yourself quite challenging. No one wants to be in that position where everything, all their resources or their main resource is now pulled out from them. And the people who depend on them are now at risk. So it's a very difficult place to be. So when you're given that situation, when a company decides it's going to balance its books by cutting your livelihood, it's something that really makes me angry. There are other ways of balancing the books, but when they do that, and it feels cold and very careless, while the people who are delivering that news, it seems, have their bases covered, and now you are just sort of kicked over the edge, and what do you do? The trite thing that we often hear in these situations is well, something better will come along, and that wasn't meant for you. And you may say, well, that's nice, but I got some bills that I have to pay. This puts me in a real dire situation. What am I going to do? What I want to do in responding here is to try to point you in a direction towards what will help you move forward. What is the most positive way we can look at this? You have to go through those stages of feeling all those different feelings that come up. You're going to have to process it, you're going to have to feel it, and you're going to have to move through that. But while you are doing that, what can you do to move forward? From my own experiences, I know that oftentimes, sometimes the answer was right around the corner and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was coming. I didn't know what was coming, if anything was going to come at all. All I knew is that the shit hit the fan and I need to respond and act fast. So you pull on every resource you have, you network, you call people, and you look around to try to find something else. Even if it's something temporary, just for now so you can stay afloat. But sometimes, and the last time this happened to me, it ended up being a tremendous, huge, freaking opportunity that I would not have taken because I had this thing in place and because that was keeping me afloat. So can we look at this unfortunate event as actually, maybe for you, depending on your situation, an outstanding opportunity for you to go maybe where you have always wanted to go but didn't think it was possible, and now life is forcing you there. You kind of have 2 options. You can continue to feel bad about yourself, feel angry, and again, like I said, you have to move through that. But there's only one way to go, and that's up. You're at the bottom. The only way you can go is up, whether that's getting a similar job or if it's maybe taking a huge leap upwards to what you've always wanted to do. Or maybe in the back of your mind, you've thought, if I had the opportunity, I would love to be blank. I would love to do this. I would love to whatever, create this job or go into a new field. This is an opportunity for you to step into that. And had this event not happened, you wouldn't chase that as vigorously, as strongly as you are now, because the motivation is extremely high to do so and to make it succeed. So I find that is, I think, a positive way that we can deal with this news. We can pull up our courage and try to step up into now this huge opportunity that's just sort of waiting there and waiting for us to walk through. And that may mean we have to face a lot of fear. It may mean that we have to let go of, maybe some beliefs that were telling us we couldn't do it before, that we weren't good enough, or that we weren't this or that enough. And now we have to just do it. The time to shine is now. You have to go upwards. You have to move forward. There's no other option, because the other option is unacceptable. The other option of not having work and not having a way to support yourself is not acceptable. So I think that is the best way, is to take this opportunity and to move in that direction of that dream or that goal that you have. And once you start moving in that direction, you will feel better. And when you feel better, everything else around you on the outside will reflect that. A layoff is never, ever an easy thing to take. But how can we turn it into something that actually benefited you and turned you onto the better course for you? So those are just my thoughts for that today. I hope that helps. And thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave it for me below. Thank you so much, everyone. I will catch you next time.